You would think by the time someone is 63 years old, they would have it all figured out. They would have life figured out. They would know what to do, and everything would just be easy, finally. But that's not the case. Oh, there are days where I think I have a grasp on it and I think I know what I'm doing. And then out of the blue, life just slaps me upside the head and reminds me of what a fool I really am. I don't know if I'll ever have it figured out. All I can do is take it a day at a time.
I wake up in the morning with a smile on my face, feeling thankful for the love and the happiness we chase. Sun is shining brightly, sky so blue and clear.
Some days are good. Every once in a while I have good days. I'm the type of person that if nothing bad happens, if everything just goes like it's supposed to, I go to work and it's uneventful, I do my job, I get paid, the house doesn't burn down, my kids are still alive and healthy, and my cat hasn't run off, it's a good day. I feel like, we made it through another day unscathed. And I'm content. But then sometimes good things happen, you know? And I get all excited. I think, wow, my life is really turning around. Good things are happening. And then reality sets in, and I realize I still have a lot to work on. But yesterday was one of those rare, really good days. And not just one or two, but three good things happened all in the same day. I was so excited. Today was a good day for the most part. I did a live collaboration with Tracie from Life in the Wild West. If you didn't see it, you should go over there and watch it. We had a lot of fun. She is absolutely adorable. I just love her. She's me 10 years ago. I think we're 10 years difference. She's in her early 50s. We both have three kids. Our daughter is our youngest, and our daughter moved away. Our boys live near us, and she's lived in her house for, I think she said 27 years. We've been here for 26. We're both in California. We're an hour apart. We're both artistic, and we're both, fairly new YouTube content creators, and we have a lot in common. We just clicked right away. So I was really honored when she asked me to join her to do a collaboration. And we did that earlier today, and it was a lot of fun. We had a great time. And I was so excited to go on her show because I felt like I had something good to share. It wasn't just going to be doom and gloom, which I think has become my trademark. I'm trying so hard not to be doom and gloom. I'm trying to pull myself out. I was telling her that too. I'm trying to work on that. But anyway, what I wanted to share with her, this is funny. When you become a content creator, there's little perks, besides being monetized and hopefully actually making some decent money someday in the future. But one of the perks that I've seen is other content creators get asked from different companies to show their products in their videos. And in exchange, they get to keep whatever that product is for free. And I've known some people that have gotten e-bikes or jackeries. These are pretty big items, and they get to keep them. All they have to do is give an honest review, good or bad. At least that's what they say. Well, anyway, I've been waiting. I thought, when am I ever going to get offers? Nobody offers me nothing. And I've seen other people that have smaller channels than me that have gotten products. So I thought, maybe it's not going to happen. Maybe I don't have a specific enough niche, for that to happen. But lo and behold, I finally got an email from a company that wants me to review a treadmill. And it's not just a regular treadmill, it's the kind that it folds down and then you can slide it under your bed or under your couch, whatever. And it has a foot massage and all this neat stuff. And at first I was like, is this legit? You know, because I've heard there's a lot of scamming going on, especially with content creators, and you can lose your channel if it's not. So I looked into it, and right away I could tell it was legit. You know, they even had a site on Amazon where they were selling their products, and then they have their own website. And all they asked was that I just give an honest review and I show it in one of my videos. And they said, you can keep the product. So that's what I'm going to do. And I said, okay. They didn't ask for any other information. They don't need my social security or any of those things. That's, when you'd be leery. And they've already shipped it. They sent me a tracking number with FedEx. It'll be here. It was supposed to be here today. It's going to be here tomorrow. So I was super excited because, originally this how my channel started. It was my healthy lifestyle journey, even though I've kind of gotten away from that this summer because my granddaughter's here, but I'm getting back into it. It's very important. We're going to be working on that. So I was super excited to get this offer. I was like, this is awesome, man, because I really do need it, because that's the one thing I do. I go walking like 4 to 5 times a week. It's going to be so nice on the days when it's too hot or, when it's raining. I can just, do it in my own home. I thought this is really cool. I am really excited. So I go on her channel, and before we even went live, we were talking in the studio, and I was telling her about this. She's getting the same one. They messaged her. They sent her the same one. She'll be getting hers later this week. I don't know why they picked us too. She's younger than me, but I can understand why they offered it to her. She is, she is showing herself walking, and she's getting healthier and stuff. But she just started doing this, so I just thought it was funny that they sent it to her, and they're sending one to me too. But regardless, it's we're both excited, and she was where I was at. She wasn't sure if this was legit, so she reached out to a mutual friend in the YouTube world and asked his advice, and he said it looked legit as well. So and I just, that was one thing that I was super excited about. I was telling everybody, look, I got somebody sending me something, and so I was super excited about that. The second thing that happened was, I haven't been able to go out and do Uber because we were camping and, life. So I like to check in the morning. I'll go on and check to see, what my balance is on my card, because, sometimes you get tips after the fact. And I knew how much I had made, but I wasn't sure. So I went to check it. Well, there was almost $30 more than what I thought. And I was like, what the heck? I went on, and somebody had given me a $28 tip, which that's a big deal in Uber. The most I think I've ever gotten was like a $12 tip or something. So that was the second good thing. I was like, wow, I'm feeling pretty good. Maybe I should go buy a lottery ticket. This is my day. I was just that excited. So, and this was all first thing in the morning. And then the third thing was my granddaughter's been here. As of this Saturday, it will have been 30 days. She's been here for the summer. Have loved having her here. She used to live here, so I missed her energy. She's 12. She's full of love and energy, and it's just been amazing having her here. But I knew the time was coming to an end, and my heart was heavy. I was sad. I didn't want to let her go. I wasn't ready. And my daughter had called, and she's a social worker, and they live about 14 hours away up north. And they're going to be putting her in a different office for a few months. So she asked if we would mind keeping her for an extra week. Well, what do you think? She could live here as far as I'm concerned. So I was overjoyed. I was just over the moon. So I said yes, absolutely. She could stay here for another week. So, and I know she misses her, and it's hard on her, and her dad misses her, but I'm just thrilled that we're going to get her for another week, because the time has just flown by. Just, how it is when you get older, time flies by anyway, but when you fill your days, like we have, every day has been full of activities because we're trying to entertain her and it's summer and we want to have fun. And I think we're just doing too much. It just made the time fly by. So this next week, because we weren't expecting to have her, we don't have anything planned. And I think that's better. I think we'll be able to slow down and just enjoy each other. If anything, I want her to get to the point where she's bored and ready to go home, and I'm ready for her to go, because right now that's not the case. So yeah, I was very excited. So it was a really good day. I was really happy with these things, just, it doesn't take much, but like I said, those things happen, and then the very next day, reality set in about other things, in the background that, affect my overall well-being, I guess. And it's not, it's just life, and it's just stuff that we just gotta figure it out, and we always do, but it's not happy stuff, you know what I mean? So I have to just work on the getting through it and making the best of it and coming out on the other side, I guess. I know I'm vague. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be, but there's some things you just don't share with on YouTube. At least I don't. And I'm an open book. You guys know that. I share a lot. But, there's some things that you just don't share. And right now, I just, like I said, I'm just doing the best I can. I'm just trying to find bits and pieces of happiness. And those were bits and pieces of happiness, because it's not a 24-hour thing. Happiness is not a constant. There's ups and downs. I'm happy when, like I said, things just don't go wrong. Everybody's healthy and we've got a roof over our head, and, that kind of stuff. We're working. I'm a happy person. I'm just trying to figure it out. Maybe someday, I'll have it all figured out, and, I'll be able to give other people advice on what they should do. That's when you got your, what together, when you can offer other people advice. I am in no position to offer anybody advice. There's been a few times where I thought I was cocky. I thought, oh, well, if you do this or you do that, then your life will be as grand as mine. Well, guess what? Oh, it's funny how that happens. Even with YouTube, I've felt pretty confident about my channel. It has grown pretty fast. I've been doing this for a year now, and the first 6 months, I didn't have anybody. It took me 6 months to get up to 1,000, and then since then, now I'm up to 5,000 in the past 7 months. So it's grown a lot faster, and being me, I got all cocky again. I thought, well, I can give advice because look how well I'm doing. And so I told people what they should do. And then I found out how wrong all that information was. It was the CEO of YouTube came out and let us know what it takes basically to grow your channel. And it has nothing to do with tags and posting at certain times of the day. And that's what I was telling people. So yeah, don't ever listen to me. I never know what I'm doing. I think I do every once in a while, but I'm learning I really don't know. But on Tracie's channel today, I did share a few things that I thought I think they've been helpful for me. And if you're a newer channel, you might want to give these things a try. There's no guarantee, and it could be totally off base, but I don't know why my channel has grown. I don't know, and I'm thinking it was due to certain things, and the things that I've done that I think have been helpful are, one was doing collaborations with other content creators. And I had heard that before in the beginning. You're supposed to reach out to other content creators that are in your niche. And that's supposed to be helpful. Well, I've done that. This was my 6th one. And every time I've done a collaboration like this, my channel grows, because not only am I talking to my base, but I'm also talking to theirs. And so a lot of times their base will subscribe to you as well, and that's happened to me several times. So I think that can be helpful. So if you're a new content creator, there's people that are interviewing. I don't. I might look into that. I might think about doing that, because it was a lot of fun. I've never interviewed. I've always been, interviewed, but I think I might be able to do it. Tracie did an amazing job. We had so much fun. We went on for almost 2 hours. It was a lot of fun. And I'm doing another one tomorrow with JB, who's another awesome content creator, and he's got a new channel, but he's gonna blow up. You can tell this guy's, his channel is going to be off the charts, and he's very helpful. But the other piece of advice, and again, you can take it with a grain of salt, but I've seen the numbers, so I think this has been helpful. 16 minutes. Well, if you're a true YouTuber, you're probably still hanging around, and hopefully you'll hear this advice. But I've said it before. When you are once you're monetized and you're in the YouTube studio, there's all these things, the analytics, all that. And one of the things is you can press this button to promote your video, and it comes up with the number. It says $200. Well, you don't have to pay $200 to promote your video. You can do it for as little as $1, which is what I do because I'm a cheapo. So I thought, what the heck? I'll just try it for $1. And it tells you, when you only pay $1, it's only going to go out to these few countries or whatever. And it even lets you decide what countries, like Canada, the UK, Australia, whatever. It gives you a list, and you can check off which countries you want it to be shown to, and what age demographic, and it'll tell you about how many people it will be promoted to. So anyway, for like $1, my video gets promoted, and then when it's done, because it promotes it for like a week to 2 weeks, I think, it'll tell you how many subscribers you got, how many people actually clicked on the subscribe button to your channel. And I've gotten as many as 89, I think, off of one video for $1. And because they promoted it, and people that wouldn't have seen it otherwise got to see it, because YouTube doesn't push us all out, especially when you're small. So this is one way to get your videos pushed out there. YouTube will show them if you pay them. So, maybe I might even invest a little bit more money. The most, usually it's $1 or $2. There was a few that I actually paid $5 for. And, but the numbers show, I've gotten as little as 6 on some, but usually you get like 20, 30, 40, and that helps, because then those people share your videos and they help. And it's just, I would consider it if you're having a hard time growing. And it's in the YouTube studio, it's through Google, you're not buying subs or anything like that. So I only do it when I've made a video that I feel pretty good about, and I feel like it needs to get pushed out. And sometimes, I'll make a video and it won't get that many views. It maybe gets like 300 views, and I'm thinking, that was a good video. And so then I'll go back and I'll promote it. And then all of a sudden, I've got 1,000 views on it. So it does help somewhat. But I heard that it doesn't count for your watch hours. See, there's so much I still don't understand with YouTube. But anyway, it's just a suggestion. If you're having trouble growing, you might consider doing that. I've probably spent $20 since I've started doing it. And I think it helped. So yeah, those are the 2 pieces of advice that I feel like might be helpful, and you might want to consider doing it. And like I said, I think I might do collaborations, so reach out to me if you would like to do one. I don't think, I would want it to be somebody that's in my niche, another person that's over 60, or 50. You don't have to be as old as me, but if you kind of have a similar niche, I think maybe it would be fun to do one. So I would definitely consider it. So yeah, if you want to, leave me a comment and we'll talk about it. But right now I've got 3 of my grandkids, and they're going to make brownies, not me, but we're going to watch some movies together. I'm still trying to grasp every minute I can of summer and being with the kids. So I'm going to go down there and enjoy what time we've got left. But anyway, watch that video that I did with Tracie if you get a chance. It was fun. She's a doll. I think you guys will really like her. She's another one whose channel is going to blow up. She's just fun and authentic, and she's just got a lot going on, and I really relate to her. And then Jay tomorrow, looking forward to doing that one. It's going to be at 1 o'clock Pacific Coast time. And really, if you're a new content creator, he's the guy to watch. This guy knows what he's talking about. It's just, he doesn't just regurgitate the same old stuff that all those other channels do. I just got so tired of them. So anyway, I'm going to let you guys go, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, guys.